Hello and welcome. This video is the raw footage from my Twitch streams. I decided to make these available to anyone who wants to go back and watch the games from the beginning. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to join us on Sundays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Pacific Time on Twitch at the link in the description. Thank you and enjoy!
Hello all, hi and welcome. I am Storm's Melody and it is Thursday night. It is Thursday night and actually up here we've had thunderstorms all day and some pretty decent wind. So far the power hasn't been a problem, but it is a new place, so I'm taking no chances. Tonight we are not going to start Fontaine. You'll notice that it is Librarian, tidy up the Arcane Library instead. For a couple reasons. A, just weather. Don't want to be in the middle of starting up the Fontaine storyline and have the power go out on me. That would be bad. The other thing is, we need to finish this up, and we've got some friends who are on vacation that I really don't want to miss the start of the Fontaine quests. So they'll be back on Sunday, so we will start Fontaine on Sunday. Tonight, however, we are going to finish this library. We are going to get it put back together, and it is going to look beautiful by the time we're done. Today has been, like I said, pretty stormy. It was my little hobbit's first time hearing thunder. Um, Thankfully, she didn't get scared, and we have a porch now. Well, we have a balcony, a small balcony, but we do all fit on it as long as the girls are sitting in our laps. So we sat on the balcony and listened to the thunder and watched the rain. There was a lot of rain. So yeah, that was our day today. It's it's pretty chill. Not much of doing much of anything because weather. All right, here we go. Join me in the library. Art of Hypnosis. That should go on this one. Yes. And hi, Wave. Welcome in. I hope your day's been going well. I know things have been hot in your area. Has that subsided any today? Secret to drawing. Perfect lines and circles. That should... Drawing goes upstairs. Hey 4G, welcome in. You did make it. Have you had a good day? You said you'd stubbed your... No. It was Granny who had stubbed her toe. Come on. You've had a fair dog? I think you hit the wrong letter, 4G. Although I could be wrong. You could have had a fair dog. State fairs do corny dogs after all. Man, I miss corn dogs. Hadn't thought about those in a long time, but I miss a good corn dog. For those of you who don't know what a corny dog is a hot dog on a stick. Thoroughly dipped in corn batter and fried. It is quite good. That and funnel cakes are my favorite fair foods. You're here after dark, sorry. Sent you a message based on what my alert said. Oh. Yeah. Your mom loves funnel cakes? Yeah, funnel cakes are amazing. They're a very underappreciated fair food. I mean, you can't go wrong with fried bread dough covered in powdered sugar. About the only thing better than funnel cakes when it comes to fried bread covered in sugar are beignets. Beignets and chicory coffee are one of my favorite breakfast foods. But yeah. So your mom has a favorite fair food, funnel cakes. Do you have a favorite fair food, Sav? Three of them. Why only 3? Oh, because it goes over here. Music and magic. I know where this goes. I think. You prefer deep fried Oreos? The cost is high, but today at 9:40 p.m. it's her birthday, so she can have whatever she wants. Yeah. Birthdays are for having treats. As far as carnival food goes, yeah. Oh, that is a problem. No wonder stuff wasn't falling in right. Unfortunately, up here, where I'm at now, it does not appear that their fair foods that I am used to are a thing. This is the downside to moving. I guess I could just learn how to fry the stuff and be done with it. And I say that like it's easy. It's not. Which is the reason I have not tried before. I'm aware that frying foods is a skill that I would need some serious practice at. I've contemplated it a couple of times, but I haven't really been in a place where I've been willing to attempt it. Depending upon what happens in the next little while. For up to me, your favorite snack would be butter popcorn. You hate movies, but you love the actual theater butter and popcorn. Gotta doctor it up pretty heavy. Back in my hometown, I loved the theater popcorn. It was amazing. And of course, the butter was available on the counter, so you could put as much of the faux butter on it as you wanted. However, unfortunately, up here, I am done with the theater snacks. Like, unless the pretzels are significantly better than the popcorn, it's done. And I say that because the popcorn in every single one of them is burnt. Slightly. Want to know a little secret? Sure. I love secrets. Secrets make the world go round. Anybody who tells you otherwise is lying to you. If it's Dot's Pretzels, you don't know what you prefer. That's not the secret. Are you sure that's not the secret? Dot's Pretzels are pretty good. Oh, come in. Doesn't the necromancy go here? Oh, the necromancy goes here. Dungeon of the Abyss. That's not ominous at all. Leveled up. Do I have the ability to up? Oh, I've got points. Oh, but what I want is already maxed out. Okay. I want more time for the system to function. Marriage is a contract spell. Advanced disenchantment is required for divorce, volume 3. How many volumes of this are there? Okay. So there's only 3. So that's good. Next Monday, you have to sign for a package, which I asked the guy I work with who gets a lot of shoes via the US Post Office, what's the threshold. He said anything over $250 has to be signed for. So I think I finally got my Nuka Quantum Bulliers in the mail. Cool. Wonderful. Interracial social dynamics. Where does this go? Oh, here. What is this row? Career opportunity, graduated from Magic University, got 0 job offers. I got news for you, dude. It's not just Magic Universities that has that problem. Not really. I paid over $600 last year for them, but then again, they're handmade. And if it's them, finally... Oof! That's harsh. Job inequality, low salary, even a licensed agent. The only time I paid that much for something was a corset, actually. Because corsetry is a pain in the ass to do. It's one of the few types of sewing that making for yourself is almost impossible. I mean, hey, custom shoes are awesome. I looked at... One of the things I was looking at getting before the world changed and my family decided that moving was our better option was I was planning on getting myself a pair of Renaissance Fair shoes, because I spend a lot of time at the Renaissance Fairs. Well, did. I don't so much anymore because I just... There's not so many fairs up here. Preservation of mental identity. Preservation of mental identity in therianthropic spells. Ooh. So yeah, good shoes made for you are expensive. But if you got the money, they're well worth the price. I'm back to having no money and having 2 little girls, so even if I had money, it wouldn't be my money. SB dunks, which are already rare. There's a gunk going on. You have a handmade vault, 111 jacket, shoes, and Pig Boy, so I would be set. Cool. Now, when you get it, you should post pictures. We'd all love to see it. Hey, maybe you should do a stream in it. Art collections that no one can understand. Isn't that kind of saying same thing twice? That's not completely true. I just really wish that modern art wasn't so hideous. Because it doesn't have to be. But our current the current trends in modern art of the super abstract and the taping a banana to a wall and calling it art actually started because of World War II propaganda. You can go look up the art history. I'm not going into it. But it severely diminished the quality of our art. The other problem we have is that art takes time. And people who don't have time can't do art. In the past, this was solved by having patrons who would pay for an artist to live in residence and do paintings and commissions, and they could work on their own private work when they were between commissions and such. These days, outside of rare cases, that doesn't happen. It's not as prevalent. And so, between the lack of time and the brainwashing that this is what art is supposed to look like and anything else is. You just don't understand it. If you don't get it, you just don't understand it. And no, it's a case of some of it is truly and legitimately horrible and should never have seen the light of day. And yes, I know that I have probably offended someone somewhere. I spent a lot of time in art history class. I'm fine with that. Where does this go? Oh, down there. Magic and value, arcane resource valuations. So do we think that goes in management? Nope. It goes up there. Ha! I actually made that jump correctly. Here's the other thing. Van Gogh is... his fame and glory is also due to a lot of PR from his sister-in-law. Because at the time he was making stuff, he was considered a hack. But after his brother died, it was all his sister-in-law's only resource was these paintings. So she released the paintings and she released the histories and things like that behind them slowly to give them more mystique and appeal and make him give him the identity of misunderstood scholar. Now don't get me wrong, I love Van Gogh's work. I find it to be fun and interesting and beautiful. Oh, it does go over in the warrior section. That being said, I don't... My favorite artist is actually Dali, the melting stuff, or Escher. I love Escher's work. But then I love things that are mind-bending anyway. If you guys hadn't already figured that information out. Bending and breaking my own mind is something of a habit of mine. The Cursed workplaces of a magicless world. I don't think it has to be just magicless worlds that are cursed. This one's pretty cursed itself. All the way in the back? Seriously? Glad I got the jump ability. What was that? Strange technology from another world. The ultimate language C++. That's debatable. That really depends upon what you're trying to do. But I guess it really doesn't matter as long as it's not mindfuck. And yes, that is an actual language. It's an actual language made up of like 12 characters, and how you combine the characters writes the... It's a database language. Yeah, it will break your brain, because that's what it's designed to do. Oh. I guess since I'm here, I should just pull these down and put them back. Get this taken care of. I love the power-ups. They're amazing. And it's thanks to these power-ups that I'm going to finish this tonight. And I will finish this tonight. And I'm actually hoping to finish it in enough time, because there's a special stage listed on the front on the front menu that I have not actually played, and I am interested in. Mind reading, detecting lies through facial expressions and gestures. That's more of an art, and it's not exact. Doop-a-doo. Studies in the history of magical civilizations. So, if you could choose any civilization in history to study, what would it be? Mine would be the Mayans. They are fascinating. And downright bloody and deadly. But fascinating. Just don't piss them off. Or get on their bad sides. A world without a demon lord, yet full of corporate slaves. Blade, dimension/combat technique. That sounds cool. Can anybody do it, or do you need a special blade? I mean, because if anybody can do it, great. But if you need, like, the Keyblade, that could be problematic. Oh, really? Probably goes on the necromancy shelf, which is here. Transcendental magic etudes of execution. What did they do? Just throw all the words together into a word salad? They're still doing a better job of it than... And I hate saying this because I enjoyed the BBC version of Merlin. I truly did, at least the first season. But it's like they took the series and put all the names of the characters from mythology into a hat and just shook the hat and pulled the name of a character and the what job they were going to do out of a hat. Oh. It goes right here. That's nice. Legal treatment of forbidden magic. A technique to turn wandering ghosts into servants. That would be nice. I'd have servants and I wouldn't have to pay them. Twofer. Yeah. The people who complain about women not wanting to work. I literally looked at one of them one time and said, "You don't want me to work? Fine. Pay my husband enough that I don't have to work and I will be more than happy to take care of my house and my kids and what stuff I do in my free time." Because I truthfully do not have enough time in a day to take care of my house, take care of my kids, and do all of the things I like to do, such as knitting and sewing and playing video games. They shut up after that. It turns out when you bring up the topic of money, they don't like it. Shocking, right? Dungeon resources goes there. Got it. Spoiler prevention magic. Ooh. Does that let you make jams? I've started practicing making jams. I say practicing because we're going to be completely and wholly honest with everyone. I've made jams twice in my lifetime. And I've really only cooked with fruit, 5 or 6. But everyone will be happy to know that I have finally, after 40 years, developed a taste for cooked fruit. I had a warm apple pie yesterday and actually liked it for the first time in my life. In the past, you couldn't pay me to eat an apple pie. Or anything that had cooked fruit in the bottom of it. We'll see if that applies to anything else, but for now, hey, at least apple pies work. Codex of the Stealth Arts. Over here. The bookshelf that is entirely done in black. Because what other color would Stealth Arts be in? Psychology of using strong language from a safe zone. Okay, are they talking about... I'm assuming they're talking about yelling insults at your opponent from like a barrier zone. That's my guess. Which could be fun, but you have to be careful doing things like that. Depending upon the game and who you, the mechanics and what you piss off, your barrier may or may not last. There are definitely times when pissing off your opponent is a bad idea. Actually, typically pissing off your opponent is a bad idea. If you don't have to do that, you don't want to. But that's not always the case either, because sometimes there's two ways of looking at it. Because when you get pissed off, you become emotional and you could lose focus. But there are some people who don't lose focus in that situation, and then you could be in more trouble. So this is a case of know your opponent and know yourself. Knowing yourself and your capabilities is half the battle. The idea of equality under the law is laughable. I can't even say they're wrong. Because right now, I don't have much evidence to disprove it. Which is a pity. It shouldn't be that way. It is. How to change drawn art into reality. No, we really don't want to do that. My drawn art does not need to become reality. I'll scare people. Heck, my reality scares me. Also, my inability to draw. I'm doing good to draw stick figures. Anything else would be absolutely laughable. The process of sublimating brain fragments into works. Isn't that the art of writing? That just sounds like the art of writing to me. The Witch and the Accidental Love Potion? It wasn't an accident on someone's part. Well, I mean, I say that. I guess they could have accidentally created one if they were careless. But if that's the case, I would never let them near a... cauldron ever again. Economics. Where did the taxes go? Volume 1. Not into my pocket, that's for sure. They disappeared into the ether. No, that one's not done yet. There must be space on this side. Yep. All these, yes. Musical saint, a great figure who brought music to the masses. That is the eternal question. The question on the front of the book is, why do stocks crash the moment I buy them? Because they were already on the way down, and there is an entire mechanism set up to make sure that the layperson does not have access to the most up-to-date information on trading. So the information we see is already behind. So it was already crashing when you bought it. That's why. Back when I was at my old company, I put just enough money into my IRA for the company to match it. Because I quickly determined that I was losing money in the stock market. But I was willing to lose the company's money. Unless mine. So yeah. Unfortunately, I can't say that your best advice is to save because the banks don't pay CDs or investments like they used to. Like, my grandmother lived off of her CDs and her mostly her CDs. You can't do that these days. They just don't make enough interest at the level that most people can buy them at. And it's practically annoying because they're like, save your money and do stuff, but you have to put it in an IRA for it to make money, but you're more likely to lose money if you put in an IRA. And yes, I know. The stock market is always actually going up, but if it crashes out from underneath you, you're SOL. And it's not exactly stable right now. I know they'd like you to believe it's stable. And the rich people certainly think it's stable, but I know, it's there's every possibility I'm an alarmist. I've been called that half of my life. The fact that I've been wrong, right more often than not. That's because I've studied history. History has patterns. It likes to repeat itself. Unfortunately, those who studied history are, as my husband said, doomed to watch others repeat it because they don't study history and society ends up suffering the consequences. On the plus side, the Odyssey has been turned into a movie, so there's that. Is anybody actually going to go see that movie? I know I'm not. At least not in theaters. I enjoy the Greek plays. I don't enjoy them that much. Lost rights of curse breaking. Oops. Legality and regulation of magic use. They're law books. Hey, 4G, something for you to read in your spare time. A people enchanted by glowing slabs. That makes more sense. Oh. Oh, that's because somehow I've missed the fact that I've got an entire set of shelves where I have not properly sorted my books. Need something to read? Find an old book called Don't Go Near the Water. Yeah, no thank you. I find that there's enough horror in my life right now. doesn't need any help. It's funny. It sounds like a bad horror film. The psychology of backseat gaming. To be fair, one of the reasons I have a bad time backseat gaming is because one of my friends growing up wouldn't let us play the games. So he just had to suffer through listening to us yell at him when he did it wrong. If he'd let us play from time to time, he wouldn't have had to listen to that. A diary of the change in the state of the mind-reading girl. Where have they decided to put this? In psychology. Okay. So it's an actual clinical study. That could be a fascinating read, actually. Alchemy and Inflation, The Gold Collapse, Volume 2. Yeah, that would beg the question. If alchemy was easily possible, what would that do to the gold standard? And at that point, what would you use instead? Because the whole point of alchemy is turning things from one state to another, so I assume it would affect all metals. So would you use bird feathers? From different types of birds? I mean, at least that could be pretty. Mystery fiction, magical theorist Maris. They couldn't have named it something else. Well, my timing on that was bad. Had to put it in manually. Looky, guys, look at how much clean floor there is. It's amazing. I wish my house looked like that. I'm gonna straight up admit, part of my thing is until my husband gets a job and we know we're staying right here, I cannot bring myself to unpack. Because I cannot pack up again so soon. it is physically impossible. And my husband's like, but we need to be able to find stuff, and I'm like, I don't care. We have our clothes, we have our pots and pans, we have what we need to functionally survive. We can deal with everything else later. And that may not be a healthy coping mechanism, but it's what I have to do, guys. So I will get further along in my unpacking once we've got some good news. And I promise everyone will know once it happens, because we'll be shouting it from the mountaintops. Oh no! Where does this book go? See, it makes sense to you to not unpack everything. Yeah, it's a case of my husband's like, we're not moving, we're not moving, we're not moving, and I'm like, that's great, but we don't actually know that yet. Like, we really don't want to, but we can't 100% guarantee that yet. I know he doesn't want to move again. I don't want to move again. Moving is miserable and it sucks. We're not done here? Oh, we've got one more set of books. Alright. Ancient manuscript studies on mage birth. On the plus side, half the books are within where you'd expect them to be. And then the other half are nowhere near it. The top is almost so clean. It's a minor miracle. Storage magic, different dimension pocket, volume 1, pocket 2. Ooh. That is how you make a bag of holding. Bag of holding is awesome. Just don't lose anything in there. You can't find it if you don't remember where you put it. It's bad news. I missed. You missed. He was 2 feet in front of you. How could you miss? I have to admit, Mulan is one of my favorite movies. Wow, one of my favorite movies to quote. It just has some lovely quotations in it. And most of them are Eddie Murphy's. As is typical with almost all Disney movies, my favorite characters are, in fact, the side characters. The animals. I find Flit and Miko to be far more interesting than Pocahontas and John Smith. I find Hey Hey to be far more interesting than Moana. In Tangled, Max? Max is my favorite character in that movie. Who doesn't like a giant horse that pretends it's a dog? Oh good, those are in the correct order. You do have to have the books in the correct order. The principal gets mad if you don't. Which you can't blame him. Name a librarian that wouldn't be absolutely irritated if you got the books in the wrong order on the shelf. By the way, if you go to a library, which everyone should do regularly, when you take a book off the shelf, do not put the book back on the shelf. Put it in the return cart. The reason why, everything in the return cart actually does get logged. And it allows them to see what's being used and what is the community finds interesting, and they'll provide more of that. Whereas if you put it back yourself, they don't know that it's in circulation and being read. And so it could leave the library a lot faster because from what they see, it's not functional. All right. Oh, mana amplification of the voice. Got it. I was like, why is it over in music? That makes sense. Foundations and applications of invisibility magic. God, I wish. I love my kids dearly, but there are times where I'm just like, could you please give me 2 minutes? 2 minutes to myself? The answer to that is no. But I can always ask. Wanted, dead or alive, stupid fairy, reward employee of the year. Yeah, I would like the stupid fairy too. I know it was up here. Where did this go? There it is. And why didn't I pick up the math book while I was at it? That was silly of me. The ultimate guide to otherworldly swear words. Isn't that the first thing you're supposed to learn about a language? All the swear words? The Otherworld, demanding fresh graduates with 10 years of work experience. Yes! Evil! It is the bane of all humanity. Corporate jobs demanding 10 years of experience in something that has existed for 3 years. gets really bad, that even applies to the people who create the language they're looking at or the job they want. Even if the person is the creator of it, does not matter if you do not have 10 years of experience in a language that has only existed 3 years. They won't hire you. And people wonder why millennials are so jaded. Like, seriously, people. I could go find them, but it is in fact faster just to wait for the fetch function to refresh. Instead of jumping around like a cricket on a hot potato. Cricket on a hot potato or cricket on a hot plate? You know, I'm not really sure. I should know. It is a strange saying, though. But then, English is full of weird idioms. And then there's ones like I couldn't care less, where most people, it is not uncommon for people to get it wrong and say, I could care less. No, that's not the idiom. The idiom is I couldn't care less. Because the whole point is you don't care. At all. And why am I going off on this rant? It's not like I'm a grammar Nazi on the normal. I don't know English well enough to fill that role. I couldn't spell worth anything for most of my high school life. My high school teacher yelled at me one time about how I was the most well-read person who couldn't spell a thing she'd ever met. And then in college one day, I woke up and I wrote a paper. And you're thinking, well, that doesn't sound too weird. Well, no, you are correct. Writing a paper in college is not weird. However, going from not being able to spell anything to my mom, who has been checking the grammar and the spelling on my papers for 20 years at this point, looking at me going, oh, I didn't know you had someone look up a first draft. And me going, that is the first draft. And her going, it can't be. You've spelled everything correctly and most of your grammar's correct. And I'm like, what? That was an interesting day. I legitimately was confused. I didn't know you could just wake up one day and understand English. Book of Ninja lurking in the darkness. Ah, there it is. I thought that was on the second floor. Aww. That is terrible. Romance novels, lies more beautiful than the truth. That is a terrible way to have a relationship. Oh. where the legal documents go? Over here. There's still a bunch of them down here, apparently. I found a key! Yay! I wonder what that key gets me. Well, while I'm holding that, I'll go find out what that key gets me. Oh, nope. Wrong way. It's over here, apparently. Ha ha ha! What do I get? What do I get? What do I get? To librarian. Look, let me tell you something. We have an incident. A very unexpected, very nasty incident in the Grand Library. It's total chaos. A complete disaster. They're saying it's the fairy. Can you believe it? That nasty little fairy is causing mischief and turning our beautiful library into a state of total disorder. It's a disgrace! But I am a man of action. I see problems and I fix it. So, in response to this emergency, I am hereby granting you immediate and unconditional permission for you to run within the Grand Library. Normally, you can't run in the library. Everyone knows that. The rules are very strict, but I am changing the rules to make things happen. This executive order applies especially to the librarian. You need to move fast, you need to be strong, and you need to get this library back in order. So run. Run like you've never run before. We're going to clean up this mess, and we're going to do it lightning fast. With all due urgency, Principal Merlin, University of Celestal. Okay. Oh, I think I automatically just move faster. Is there a way to specifically run? I can't tell. I think you press shift. But I am not 100% sure on that. Comparative study of national magical laws. Most of the ones up here is lit up. That's good. The Witch's Hymnal! I wonder what tunes witches sing. What kind of magic works best for job hunting? I doubt we'll ever find out. Oh, does it not go there? Oh, I'm on the wrong side. I misremembered the bookshelf. Repair and returning enchanted gear. That one's done. Yay! Magical law. Is that one done? That one's done. We've got 8 more shelves, guys. 9 more shelves. Sociology. Mage pension system on the brink of collapse. Well, that happens. Curse breaking rhythm. I know where these go. That no, that's not. Why is this one not done? Oh no. It's not lit up, but it's completely full, which means something is out of order. The way to fix that and guarantee that it's correct is to take everything out and put it back in. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, it lit up now. Apparently I already took care of the problem. Broom handling techniques, the art of aerial travel. That sounds like fun, actually. But then I'm kind of an odd duck. I enjoy freefall, however, and I don't mind heights in the slightest. But I don't like ladders. I'll do zip lines. I'll climb rock walls. I'll go play on ropes courses. But I hate ladders. And the reason is actually... We're done! The reason is actually pretty simple. I don't like unstable heights. Are you certain you want to leave? Yes! Did we do it? Did we do it? Ha ha ha! We got pizza! Look, guys, it's pizza. It's not a particularly appetizing pizza, but it is pizza. Congratulations. Congratulations on completing the game. There's a message from the principal waiting for you. Go ahead and take a look. 5 hours, 3 minutes, and 41 seconds. All the shelves arranged. 670 major magic used. Magic keys. Magic unlocked 8 out of 9. Keys used 3 out of 4. I missed one of the keys. What's the evaluation? Evaluation by the principal. Congratulations. You are a very good person. To librarian. Listen, everybody. Listen, everyone is talking about how we handled the situation at the library. It's a huge story, a total success. It's because I made some very smart moves. Probably the smartest moves in the history of this university. Everything went perfectly because of my amazing leadership. I told you exactly what to do, and as always, I was proven right. I only settle for the best. Everybody knows that. Now, I've looked at the shelves, you organized everything, and honestly, it's a beautiful job. The books are in perfect order, exactly where they belong. I'm going to give you credit you deserve for that. The fact that you were able to maximize your potential under my direction is a wonderful thing for you and for this library. You did a great job, truly spectacular. But I need you to understand one thing. The reason this library shines so brightly is that our hard work is producing results at the highest possible level, the standard I set. Your talent finally found its true form because of the foundation of my guidance. You were a little slow at times, but because of my precise instructions, everything ultimately came together in the perfect way. You are the librarian I personally chose. The fact that you did the job perfectly is proof of how well this environment I've built actually functions. But where we are heading is even higher. Next time, keep that accuracy but surprise me with lightning speed. I expect even more for you as we take our reputation to even greater heights. Principal Merlin, University of Celestial. Oh my god. I personally would like to slap him. I would have a hard time listening to anybody if they talked to me that way, especially a manager. I would probably get in trouble for rolling my eyes again. Got in trouble all through 4th grade for that one. Special stage. But then I couldn't take my 4th grade teachers seriously in the discipline department. They're just stupid. What is going on? Is it just tidying up the library for me? Is that what the special stage is? I mean, I'm not going to particularly complain. That makes my life easier. I thought it might be a replay once it started of me putting stuff away, but no. It's just the library putting itself back into order. Because obviously this Principal Merlin did not gain his namesake's magic of being able to just pack stuff away by singing a song. Best magical power ever. Am I supposed to help or am I just supposed to stand here? I can't actually pick up books, so... I can, however, apparently gather the keys? Man. It's so elegant. And I don't know about anybody else, but as someone who is not normal, this would never happen. I would get distracted. My life is not this neat. It's a practical impossibility for my life to be this neat. I do try to keep stuff tidy because it being untidy after a certain point does cause problems, but it's so organized. I wonder if we get credit for this one. I doubt it. It did list it as a special stage. Alright. That's great and all. Oh, that's right. I can't jump. I don't have that power right now. Do you need to find the keys before it writes itself? No. Well, I mean, maybe. But I think this is just a show off from the creators. to see all the pretty graphics and what they can make the books do. How to play. Oh no, that's the whole thing. Looks like this is about 10 minutes long, maybe 12, to get all the books put away. Because we're already at about 5 minutes and we're just a little under halfway. Look at the astrolabe up there. That's pretty. Maintenance on it has to be a bitch, though. Could you imagine having to be the magician who floats up there and make sure the stupid thing hasn't gone off? In 4G, even if I had to find all the keys, I'd be screwed. I only know where 3 of them are. I have no idea where the 4th key is. If you saw it and can tell me, that would be great. But I honestly missed it. The 3rd key is actually over here under the books. Yeah, here under the books. But I can't pick up the books right now, so I can't move them anyway. I'll have to wait till Barriers of the Sacred Magic and another holy book is removed. I wonder, could I fly on a book? Could I stand on a book and fly? I'm in one of the alchemy books right now. We're nearly to the alchemy section. Somehow I get the feeling it's gonna slide just right out from underneath my feet, but hey, I can always try, right? You never know. Maybe they did something silly. I mean, obviously they did something silly. They animated the entire library going back together. Honestly, I think this would be far more interesting if what happened instead was that it recreated how you put the library back together. This is fine and cool and amazing to watch. Aw, the book just slipped out from underneath my feet. I figured that was what's going to happen. But the library putting it back together the way you did on fast mode, now that would be really cool to watch. Just so you could see how you did it and what your progress actually looked like. That would be more difficult to code. Significantly more difficult to code than what they've done here. But as a gamer, that would be more interesting. I'm never going to watch this again because it's interesting the first time, but not interesting enough going forward. Is there anything different about this one? No. Okay. Trust me, I didn't set any traps in the chest box. Yes, yes, we'll trust you. Sure. Since the keys are here, I'm taking a look around to see if I just happen to see any. Because like I said, I'm missing that last key. I wish you could spin the globes. That would be fun. Yes, I want to leave. No pizza for us. Okay. We are done with that for the day. I picked up a new game that I think we would enjoy. It's called Marbles on Stream. We're not going to be playing this often. And unfortunately, my marbles right now are very boring because this will be our first time playing it, and you have to play for a while to gain more interesting marbles. But I figure we could try it. This is actually a game you guys all will get to play with me on. So what will happen is... Where'd it go? There we go. We'll do a race. In the stream chat, you're going to put exclamation mark and the word play. So let's just take... I just want a very basic one. Let's do Marble Mill. So, anybody wants to join in, type exclamation mark play in the stream. Should look like this. Don't worry about everybody's gonna have the same color marble. Surely at least one of you guys is gonna join me in this, right? Because I don't want to race myself. That would be silly. Yay! 4G's in! Anybody else gonna join us? We are gonna give a 60-second countdown to start. So you have 1 minute to join in if you want to play. It's just a marble run. And I apologize. I'm still working on controlling how we see things. So there's that. While we're waiting for the countdown, I am going to update my stream information. There we go. I haven't updated my search functions, but I'll get there eventually. It's just going to be the two of us, it looks like. And 4G looks like she's going to beat me. Going all the way down here. Before I even hit the drop point. Coming all the way back up. What is this one? Oh, it looks like we're going to run through all these pegs. Woof, that's a... But I did actually make it for 4G, and we're running down the ramps. Both taking the same route, so there's that. Looks like we're gonna get launched out of something? This could either go really well or really badly. Where did we go? Oh, I went completely off the course. Like I said, that could go either really well or really badly. Apparently really badly. 4G still is on the course. Lucky her. And has a fair ways to go, so it's not a guarantee yet. If anyone's going to make it, it's going to be 4G. On the plus side, it does not look like there's going to be any other launch points. So I don't think it's going... Yep, you're going to make it 4G. Woohoo! And on our first race on stream, 4G is going to win this. No records, but hey, congratulations. Did not finish. Ended up in the pan. Alright. Next round is... looks like a castle. Oh! Oh! Now what do you do? Just put iPlay, exclamation mark play into the chat. What did you do and how did you do it? Oh, so for this game, you don't actually do anything. It drops a marble with your name on it, and it races to the end. The chances of actually making it to the end of this one aren't good, so I think we are going to back out of this one. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to confirm that, because that one is... That one's not fun, honestly. Oh, this could be fun. That would be more fun with more people, though. All of these would be more fun with more people, but I will take what I can get. See, once you get started doing this, you can get all sorts of interesting marbles. We don't have interesting marbles yet. Didn't we just do this course? Like, this is the exact same setup we had a minute ago. Except now we've got rocks. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Probably a bad thing. It is open to anybody who wants to play. Just put exclamation mark play, and you can put a number, except we only have one ball, so everyone is playing a white ball. Hopefully someday we'll have better balls. Now there's a comment for you. I should be careful how I say that. I could offend someone. Now the question is, do I much care? And the answer to that is probably not. I try to be relatively inoffensive and try to keep things reasonably PG-13, but it doesn't always happen. Which is why you should always watch what your children are watching. So, my eldest, my imp, came across because we were listening to ABBA, who's one of my favorite artists, and the playlist played Material Girl, the music video for Material Girl. That was fun. Don't get me wrong, I like Material Girl. I like the song. It's fun. The music video is fun. Did I want my child to see that yet? Not necessarily. Happened anyway. Well, just like last time, I am the first one out. Followed quickly by 4G. And I got ran over by a rock. Did I die again? Okay, no. 4G, however, was not as lucky this time. And there is still plenty of course for me to fail on, so this is not guaranteed to go well. Nope. Nobody won. Everybody died. That's nice. There seems to be a lot of pegboard starts these times. Okay. Let's do one more round and then we'll call it for the evening. Again, this game is open to anybody who wants to. Just type !play into the stream. If you're following on other people who play this game, you can type in a number and they'll have all sorts of fun and interesting marbles to play with. Hopefully at some point we can get some fun and interesting marbles, but right now we have plain white marbles. Actually, I have two slammer marbles personally. One of them is blue and one of them is yellow. And my imp got a hold of the box that I had had these things in for 20 years. They're here in my house somewhere. I know that because they weren't left at the house that we moved from. Where they are, I don't know. They're not in the box they were in because I know where that box is. But neither of my marbles is in that box. And I am very, very irritated about that because I didn't start the countdown. Oops. You're already on there, 4G. You are up here. And I am over here. If Wave is still awake, he can play too. I'm just kind of assuming Granny fell asleep again. Which is perfectly fine. I know it's late for you guys there. It's getting kind of late for me here. Especially since our girls have been waking up around 5 a.m. I love them dearly, but sweet Cirque, kids. I realize it's summer. I realize the sun is out, but could you please sleep? I will say they have been doing pretty well. And giving mommy and daddy a chance to sleep, but still. Alright. Wolf. Too close! And I'm first down again, but 4G is really hot on my heels. Oh, it's going to twist around. You end up going to the completely opposite way. Very nice. Still in the lead. 4G's quickly catching up to me. Sorry, I'm learning my way around the controls for this. It's not as easy as it would have you think. That looks like a ram swarm, doesn't it? Wouldn't want to get head-butted by that. What is this vortex of doom? Uh-oh. I've gotten stuck. The question is, will 4G pass me or get stuck with me? Looks like she got through. Oh, looks like we're both through. Hey, Granny, we're in a lovely field of something. Probably corn. Corn or soybeans. We're in the last stretch, and it looks like 4G got stopped by something. Oh, there's stoppers on the course. Gonna have to be careful not to run into those. Storm seems to be doing pretty good. I'm doing alright. going around the last bend, and it looks like I'm going to be in first, but it looks like we are both going to finish this time. That will be nice. And actually, only half a minute above the record. That's pretty good. Stamina burned. Stamina remaining. Well, that's good. Yay! Alright. I hope you guys all had fun tonight. I know that we didn't do Genshin Impact like we were planning, but hey, we had a good stream anyway. We got the library completely tidied up, and we started doing some races, so there is that. I will see everybody on Sunday. It will be Genshin Impact, and we will be going into Fontaine. So come prepared to pay attention because you're going to want to stick around for that story and not fall asleep because it is amazing and beautiful and heart wrenching and glorious, and you won't want to miss it. So, until then, everybody be safe. It's a crazy world out there. Toodles!